Yeah, we live every week, baby. Like, comment, subscribe. You did. Bring it to the table, where you can learn something. Bring it to the table. Maybe confirm something. Bring it to the table. You got concerns, huh? Bring it to the table.
It to the table, a place where we could talk about real life situations and not be judged for it. Our focus is to reach out to all lives to inspire and motivate. I am one of your hosts, Jeanette Rodriguez.
And I'm Angelique.
I'm Constance.
And I'm Brittany.
And I'm Alex.
And last but not least, I'm Jasmine.
So everybody, take your drink of your choice and grab your glass and bring it to the table. So guys, I am super excited about today. Are you?
Yes.
Like
Very
it
first
took
episode.
so much for us to get here.
Absolutely.
All the
Let's
ripping
talk
and
about
running around.
right.
Oh wow.
Getting ready,
Oh
clothes.
God, photo shoot, production.
The last
Whoa.
minute changing clothes. Y'all, we changed clothes 3 times.
For a photo shoot.
And how
For
many
a photo
meetings?
shoot. 30 minutes.
30
In
minutes.
30 minutes.
How long
minutes.
meetings?
Yeah, oh yeah, long
I
meetings.
had fun with the photo shoot though.
Yeah, that was
too.
good.
I like the
That
fact
was
that we
fun.
actually we went to Atlanta for our shoot, and not only that, we got to stay in the Airbnb that night. Now that was hilarious.
Oh,
That
that
was hilarious.
Airbnb.
Had so
Oh, my
much.
God.
So much fun. So I can't wait till we start filming like, away trips and stuff. So
Behind the
our
scenes.
production better get ready for the behind the scenes trips
Absolutely.
because it is hilarious.
Yes.
When we- it's the
The
traveling.
traveling.
Oh.
Okay, travel.
It's the picking the Airbnb for me.
Oh,
Right. The right one.
The right one. Yes.
But the crazy part is, I was the one who was just supposed to do one segment. I'm ended up at the table.
You at the table?
You are at
I'm
the
big
table.
dog.
You are the big dog, and you
is
are the man of the hour.
of
He
the
got
table.
promoted in like
Definitely. I got promoted in 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Yes.
I was so lost, y'all. They was like, I said, wait, I'm at the table?
Yes,
you
you are at the table. Yes.
We
Because
done
we
brought
couldn't do
you
this
to the
without
table.
you. We couldn't do this without
This
so,
is gonna
so
be
for
good.
guys that you don't know about us is that we're all family.
Yes.
Family first.
Family
Family
first.
first.
So I'm consider myself the big auntie.
Yes.
Yes.
definitely.
So am I auntie mama?
You
Auntie
mama.
Yes.
I'm
Exactly.
Auntie Little Sister, just so
Yes,
you know.
yes.
Slash auntie manager, because you stay on us.
Yes.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
my God.
And-
I'm the son, the nephew, the cousin.
Okay.
I'm all of the above.
All of the above. But the sleepless nights, y'all, in the middle of the night
Oh,
with the
my
texting.
I have to turn my phone off.
Oh,
I had to put
my
y'all
God.
on mute.
Sometimes I look at my phone. Put
No,
it
you
down.
did not mute us.
He did mute us.
BB's always the last person to respond
The
in the
last
group.
person, and then
In
she
the group.
responds when everybody is sleeping. Hello,
Like,
go to bed, girl.
Girl, it's over. The text is over.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
I
But
ain't
we
mute y'all on
understand.
purpose. I ain't mute y'all on
We
purpose.
understand. Everybody got their own lives.
right, right.
But I'm super excited about this adventure.
Yes.
Because we all
Yes.
just kind of collectively came together
Right.
to create this show. And I'm excited that it
Yes.
is going to finally be aired on November the
The
1st.
first.
All of us.
Ooh.
For myself, you guys, I'm big on prayer, so I'm glad that before we do anything, we pray.
Yes.
We pray
Oh,
together
absolutely.
As a family, so
Absolutely.
I just really thank God for that part of
Amen.
the whole
Yes.
bring it to the table.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need y'all to turn to your neighbors and say, I'm excited about your future.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I am excited about your future. So our future came fast, though, right?
Yeah, that was
I'm proud of us.
Like, yeah,
I am. We had a time limit, and we stuck to it, and that's what I think what made it great.
And now we're here.
And we are here.
We
are
are
at Bring
here
It
to
the
the
Table.
Yes.
Yes. So we're gonna wrap it up, guys, and get ready to start our segment.
First topic. What is domestic violence?
Ooh, that's good.
Wow.
Touchy.
What is it?
Deep. Okay, but domestic violence is a willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, and any or other abusive abusive behavior as part of a systematic pattern of power and control perpetrated by one intimidated partner against the other. It includes physical violence, sexual violence, threats, and emotional and physical abuse. The frequency and severity of domestic violence varies dramatically.
I can honestly say that each one of us and everybody out there in TV land can contest to someone. Either we know someone that has been in a domestic violence
Or you're that person.
relationship, or it has happened to you personally.
Right.
I can definitely agree with
Yeah,
that.
and me too.
And to break that down, according to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, did you know in the United States more than 10 million adults experience domestic violence annually?
Wow.
Okay? 1 in 2 female murder victims and 1 in 13 male murder victims are killed by their intimate partner.
Wow.
Between 2003 and 2008, 142 women were murdered in their workplace by their abuser. That's 78% of women killed in the workplace during that time frame.
Oh wow. That's
And a
deep right
study of the intimate partner homicides found 20% of victims are family members or friends of the abuser, neighbors, persons who intervened, and law enforcement responders and bystanders.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That's deep.
That's what
It
really
is
gets
deep. And 96% of it are all female.
Wow.
It's sad. And it just gives me the chills just to read
Yes,
that, you
right.
know?
Absolutely.
I didn't know
a
that. That's
touchy
some good
situation.
information.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
something, if you're not dealing with it, you would not know.
You
just
would
kinda
not
put it on your
know.
back burner.
Right,
You
right.
don't do your research on things of that nature. And if someone that's close to you not dealing with it, you don't go to the extreme. You just, again, like she said, you want to be their hero instead of doing your research to figure out what can you do to help get them out of the situation. right?
Absolutely.
That's why you should always check on people periodically. Even if
Yes.
it's not every day, I feel like you should just still check on somebody. Even a smile, you know? Hey,
Right.
how you
Yes.
doing? That can brighten up somebody's
Yeah.
day. Like, you never know what a person is really going through.
And you
Right.
know, I hate to bring up, the whole situation that the whole world is experiencing right now with COVID. If you haven't reached out to anyone today to tell them that you love them, you should, because people are dying every day, not only from
That's right.
domestic violence, but this COVID-19 is very, very serious, and we should take it
Seriously.
serious.
As such,
Like,
yes.
really.
Stay safe.
Yes.
Definitely stay safe.
So if you haven't told someone you love them today, please
sure.
call them and tell them
Right.
that you love them.
Well, I love you guys.
And
I love you
you
too.
Oh, my
Yes,
God.
yes, yes.
Yes. But me, myself, and those that don't know who didn't see Meet the Cast, Alex is my son, and both of us he witnessed me. I wasn't in a relationship where it was happening constantly. As a matter of fact, it didn't happen at all to the very end. And it only happened once, but that's all it takes.
Yeah.
It just
That's all it
takes
takes,
one
right.
time. And I just wanted to share that because I want to inspire women that you can leave the relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can leave the relationship. And I
Absolutely.
understand that there's a lot of women out there who don't feel like they have the strength or don't feel like they have anybody out there to help them. But I was blessed to have family who supported me on both sides, on the abuser side and also my family, my personal family. And that was part of my strength. But I just want to say it firmly that you can leave. There are shelters out there.
Yes.
There are all types of help. And with this episode, we are going to share that information to give you guys outlets to let you know if you know somebody or if you yourself are in it. This show is going to tell you the characteristics, the signs, and everything to help you get away from your abuser.
Right.
And well, not to cut you off, but
No.
me being transparent right now, I can honestly say I've been in an abusive relationship, but verbally. So there's different stages
yes,
and levels to being in a domestic violence situation. And I know we all can agree. And when you have someone that constantly verbally abuses you, that can play with your emotions, and it can play with your mindset. But you, honey, let me tell you, I had to go to God on that thing and put him first and ask him to like guide me and lead me in that situation, because at some point you get depressed and you feel like you can't get out. But as Jeanette stated earlier, you can get out through prayer, through help and strength of your family and your friends, and just having someone that you could talk to. That helps out a lot, because it definitely helped me, and it helped build my strength, and it helped me become the woman that I am today.
Right.
So
And I want to just piggyback. It's not just women that
Yes.
are being abused.
Right,
There
right,
are men that are getting
right.
abused as
Yeah.
well. So we don't want to just make it about women.
Right.
It happens to both sides.
Oh,
absolutely.
So we just
Absolutely.
be mindful across the board, not just for women only.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And I want to piggyback on that too. Never feel like you're alone in a situation. There's always somebody
Right.
out there
Yes.
with a listening ear, even if they may not have the perfect words to tell you at the moment, but as long as they're there for you as far as being a listener and letting you vent, there's always somebody
Absolutely.
out there. There's always somebody
Absolutely.
out there. So never feel like you're alone.
Yeah. And being the person that's listening, don't give up on that person.
On that person.
Right.
Yeah.
Please, because even if you're tired of hearing it and they're going to eventually go back, that person is reaching out to you indirectly just for some support to make them, to build up their strength. You don't know, every time you talk to them, you may be building up their strength little by little to the day that they get fed up and just leave.
Right.
But if you know that they're being physically abused to the point where you feel like their life or their kid's life is in danger, intervene. You can intervene with law enforcement. Intervene, do what you need to do to help. Because a lot of people are blindsided about what, that they're going to, because verbal abuse is domestic violence.
Right.
Yes.
It leads up to other
If they're calling you out your name,
Yes.
if they're belittling you,
Yes.
if they're cursing you out all the time, that is abuse. You don't have to be getting physically hit to be abused.
Correct.
And people need to understand that. No man should be calling you out of your name.
Or woman.
Or woman should be calling you out of your name. Or telling you you are worth nothing.
And you worthy though.
And you're not worthy. Because you are worthy to God. So you are worthy, period.
They need to know they worthy.
And if someone coming to you, don't go, oh, this is what I would do, or go do this and go do that. Just
don't
listen and, just give your advice on the situation. And, just keep giving encouraging words. But
Absolutely.
don't go off and just be like, this is what I would do, girl, or this is what I would do.
Right.
And,
Right.
But you know what, baby? You
mindful.
never know what you would do in that situation. So
right.
you can't
That's why
sit
you can't
there
tell somebody to
and
do
say, this is what I'm going to do, because you never
don't
know what
know.
you're going to do
Right.
at that given time. Anything can strike at any given moment. And who got time to think about what the next person said, what they was going to do? No.
Right.
You have to act and act fast.
So just listen, give
Yeah.
your advice.
But
So-
it's just crazy how somebody that
You're dating.
you're dating or you tell them that you love them, they can sit there and just abuse you in those ways.
That's
That's
not
not
love.
love.
That's not love.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's not
I
love.
don't care how you put
And
it.
you make yourself lose yourself.
Yes.
And we
You ask
often,
yourself why.
I always say we get lost in the sauce.
Yes.
Because we lose ourselves trying to please other people who don't care anything
Amen.
about us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's my go-to. You get
Right.
lost in the sauce. But we
Right.
have to know our worth and what we bring to the table.
Right.
Exactly.
So with that being said, guys, we are going to bring on our first guest.
Yes.
And she's going to talk to us about her personal life. And she's going to share her personal experience with domestic violence.
Yes.
So we're happy to have Miss Ashley, and she's going to be coming to our table
And bringing it to the table.
Right after the
right
break.
after the break. Thank you.
If you have concerns about what's happening in your relationship or someone you may know, call, chat, or text the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Their number is 1-800-799-SAFE. You can also visit their website, thehotline.org, to chat. They are completely free and confidential. And welcome back, you guys. Today we have invited Miss Ashley Wilson to help us with today's topic. Miss Ashley Wilson, who is from Columbia, South Carolina, and a licensed cosmetologist and a Paul Mitchell alumni. She specializes in commercial hair installations, lace applications, custom-made units, and custom color. She has taken a trichology 101 course with plans on furthering her career in trichology. Ashley is a mother of two beautiful daughters, Zoe and Ashlyn, whom she adores. We brought Ashley to the show because she is not a victim, but a survivor of a 6.5-year domestic violence relationship.
Wow.
This part of her life, she says she would like to forget, but she remembers because this is what makes her a strong woman and is ready for any obstacles that will be placed in front. So give us a little history on how you met your abuser and just what the relationship was like at the beginning.
Well, at the time I was 19, he was 25.
Okay.
I thought I was getting into something, we all think we're grown before we're grown. And I met him, we both from the same area or whatever. And at first, he was so sweet and kind, and he'll give me the back off his shoulder, the shirt off his shoulders and things like that. But it seemed to me that once he realized that I really had love for him, that's when the abuse came. My oldest daughter, she's now 14. At the time, she was 2. And I've heard stories. You know how people always have rumors about, oh, he's this way, he's that way, but I've never saw it come to me. So I just wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. And when my oldest daughter was 2, just all of a sudden one night he came home and he was very intoxicated. And he just started fighting me out of the blue, first time. Now, granted, prior to the physical, me personally, I feel it's levels to domestic violence.
Right. Absolutely.
Like first they start with the verbal abuse, right? Calling you out your name and things like that. And when you accept that, then it gets to the grabbing on you.
Right.
Like, grabbing you up and things like that. And then once that passed, then one night, it was like I said, it was out of the blue. I was asleep. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning.
And were you said you were 19 when you met him, so this happened during the time you were 19?
This happened about 19, about 2.5, 3 years later.
Okay.
That's when the abuse really started. Like, I saw him be abusive to others,
Yes.
but it was never towards me. So I didn't never think it would
Happen
come
to
to me.
you. Yeah.
And then I was one of those girls who always said, not me.
Right.
Or if it was me, I'll do X, Y, Z.
Right. Yes.
But you never know what you're going to do until you placed in that situation.
Absolutely.
And it's either fight or flight. And
So you considered yourself a strong woman at 19. So you're saying you felt like, oh, I'm strong, and because I'm presenting myself that way, he wouldn't dare put his hands on me.
Right.
Absolutely.
That, along with I'm trying to be everything that I thought you wanted. Right. But that night when it all first happened, I remember it like it was 5 minutes ago. He came home. I was asleep. My oldest daughter was 2 at the time. And his first words, soon as he hit the door, was, B, I'm about to beat you. And I'm like, what in the world? Where is this coming from? So we're fighting in my bedroom. I got my night clothes on. I had a TV in front of my bed. And what he did was he picked up the TV to throw it at me.
Oh, wow.
But when he threw it, the cable wire and the plug stopped the TV from falling.
So when that happened, because at first I thought it was just a joke because it never really happened before. And then when he did that, like I said, you never know what you're going to do in that situation.
Right.
So I'm just trying to beg and plead with him, like, what are you doing? It's me. Stop it. But that didn't help. I had a lamp beside my bed, and he picked up the lamp after the TV fell. So at that point, I told myself, Ashley, you got to defend yourself because he's not going to stop. So we're tussling over the lamp, and he tells me, soon as you let this lamp go, I'm going to beat your such and such. So we're going back and forth. The lamp flew on the side of the room. I'm on the foot of my bed like how I am right now. And he was standing over me, and he got into a boxing stance. So when he got into a boxing stance, I just kind of shielded my body because I didn't want my face to get hit. But every other part of my body, it got hit. My daughter then woke up through the commotion, and she was 2, and I have a 2-year-old daughter pleading to a grown man.
Wow.
Please don't do this to my mama. She didn't do anything. He started yelling at her, and then he told me, as soon as you go back to bed, I'm going to kill you. So I picked up my daughter, and I ran to the front door. But he grabbed me by my hair and slung both of us down to the ground. He drugged me back into the room, and somehow we started back tussling, and then when I realized I'm naked, like I'm naked, and I just so happened to have like enough space between my bed and my dresser just for a body. And I don't know where I got the strength from, but I kicked him, and he landed in that part. And being that he was intoxicated, it took him a while to get up. So I just threw on whatever I could find, and I grabbed my daughter, and I stayed in an apartment, and my cousin, she stayed out there with me. So me and my daughter, we ran to my cousin's house. She wasn't even home.
Oh, wow.
She wasn't even home. And I didn't even know nobody in her building but her. But I was just beating on every door until somebody opened the door. And it just so happened that the lady downstairs, her son opened the door. And I didn't even express anything to them. I just ran in their house and told them, lock the door, lock the door. And lo and behold, he was behind me. And a guy told him they went into that apartment. So he almost kicked those people's door down. I had to call my sister because in all actuality, I thought I was about to be killed. I sprained my knee at that time when he pulled me and my daughter down. I don't know how I ran to my cousin's house with a sprained knee, but I did. And that was the first time that I ever experienced domestic violence. I left for a while, but they always know what to say to get you to come back.
Right.
And I came back, and once I came back, it was years down the line before anything stopped. I had gained so much weight. I had bags under my eyes. I was losing my hair. And before I knew it, I was pregnant with a second child. But prior to my pregnancy, I hid a lot of my domestic violence from my family and my friends as well because I didn't want to be judged. And I'm a strong woman, I didn't want nobody to look at me like no victim.
Right.
So I hid a lot of it until I guess I couldn't hide it anymore. And then my family started getting involved. And then by the time I got pregnant with my second child, along with the alcohol problem, came a drug problem. When I got pregnant with my second daughter, I hadn't been dealing with the domestic violence for probably about 3-4 years at that time. And I was planning my escape, to be honest. And once I was planning my escape, I found out I was pregnant. So that kind of put me on hold for a couple months. But I made a promise to myself, my daughter, and God that this child that I was carrying, I wasn't going to bring her through what I put my first daughter through. And I stayed because I felt like I grew up in a broken home. So I felt like maybe I wanted my daughter to have both parents in the house. And she loved her father so much. But she witnessed a whole lot. By the time I had my second daughter, when I was in the hospital, we got into an argument. And he told me that, when you come home from the hospital, I'm going to kill you. I thought he was just playing, but he wasn't. He was serious. One day we were arguing. It was Christmas Eve because I always cook Christmas dinner like a family tradition. And I was sitting in the kitchen cooking. I don't know what the spirit told him, but it told him something. He came in, he pulled all my hair out, all my edges. And the sad thing about it is a lot of people always say, call the police, call the police. But do you know how many times I've called the police? Right. And they say, oh, just one of y'all has to leave. And he'll leave long enough for the police to leave. And then he'll come back. And one day, my baby girl was about 4 months. And every time we got in an argument, I would leave because in the beginning, I argued back with him, and I feel like that made the domestic violence come. But then I said, Ashley, I'm going to stop arguing with him. And I stopped. And so he argued with me. And then one day, he came home. He was out with his friends. I had just put my little baby to sleep. And he came in the house, and he just kept saying, oh, you had a man in here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So then he goes to the kitchen and gets the biggest knife that's in the kitchen. And I'm standing in the living room, and he puts a knife to my throat, and he says, take all your clothes off. So I took all my clothes off because I already knew from prior what he's capable of. So once I took my clothes off, he grabbed me by my neck, and he threw me on the floor. With the knife sitting beside me, he made me have sex with him. And it was like, after that first time, it was like that a whole lot. Then one night he tried to do it, and I said, I'm going to leave. I had my daughter in my hand. She was a couple months old. He grabbed me with my daughter in my arm, and he choked me. He choked me so hard until my eyes started rolling back in my head, and I started kind of like falling to the floor, but I would never let my daughter go. And then he let me go. But then the next morning, I couldn't swallow. I couldn't move my neck. I've never been choked that hard in my life. And so, again, my mom was like, call the police. I did. Nothing happened. And it just kept getting worse and worse, especially with the drugs. Like, especially with that. And it just...
So do you think, I don't mean to cut you
I'm
off,
sorry.
but so you think that the drugs and the alcohol had a lot to do with his reaction or what caused the abuse? Or you just think that maybe it's just something that he was dealing with them himself?
Right.
Because it sounds like to me, and I'm just on the outside looking in, that he was dealing with a lot of inner problems.
I think it was all of the above. Issues from his childhood
Yes.
that stemmed to adulthood. And once you mix that with drugs and alcohol,
Yes.
you're doomed for failure.
And I hate to, again, I'm going to piggyback off of what you said. We have a issue with, and I'm saying we, as the black community, we have an issue with trying to get help.
Yes.
When you try to get help, it's, oh, they're weak and they're this and they're that. And it sounds like, again, he must have was dealing with some childhood stuff or even some mental.
Yes.
Yeah, and I used to always tell him, go talk to somebody,
Right.
go get help, because you're taking your frustrations out
On the wrong person.
people. But
And
he-
his
he
daughter
didn't
is
wanna
your
do this.
your daughter is his daughter.
both of them.
Both of them. Okay.
And the whole time I thought I was doing what was right for my
Yes.
kids, not knowing the damage that it
Yeah.
has done, especially to my oldest daughter. She overheard, it's one thing when you're an 8-year-old child and you hear your father say, I'm going to kill you. But then that means I'm going to have to kill the kids too.
Oh, my God.
And then myself. And she heard that at 8. And today she's 14, and she still remembers that.
Yeah.
She don't trust men. She don't like men. She's not attracted to men.
Oh wow.
And I feel like it's all because of
Yeah.
her daddy issues. She and I both have had to go to therapists.
And you
Yeah.
should, you should
Because
have.
I had so many anger issues after I left, and then, like I said, I thought I was doing what was best for her. And then after I leave the situation to see what I did, I blamed myself for how my daughter is, because I never should have stayed in that situation as long as I did.
At
But
what point though did you finally make up in your mind that, you know what, I'm out. Me and my kids gotta go.
when I had my second daughter and I realized it wasn't stopping, being that I was going through domestic violence, my faith changed. I didn't think that God loved me
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
I tried to take my life a couple times, but I didn't want to leave my kids
Right.
with him,
Right.
because he was no good for them. Not to mention, he would get drunk some nights, and I would have to go get him out of the bed with my daughter naked. So I didn't want to leave my children with that.
Yeah.
After I had my second daughter, I got an understanding with God, and I started praying, and I started meditating, because at that point when I left, it was at the point where either it was him or my support system.
That's right.
I was on the bridge of losing the most important people in my life, which was my family, because every time he hurt me, they were there for me. So I wasn't going to lose my family behind something that was hurting me.
Yes, absolutely.
So I started praying and praying and praying, and I started hearing the voice more and more. And one day we got in an argument, and I just said, I'm tired of it. And I left, and I never went back.
Amen.
And he didn't expect that. And most people tell you, oh, leave, like that stops. It doesn't. It makes
does.
it worse.
Yeah.
I left. I had to move out. I had to not tell him where I live, where I work. But like I said, we're from the same area. So one day he followed me home from my grandma's house. And I didn't know he followed me home until he kidnapped my daughter.
Oh wow.
Oh, goodness.
Wow.
And I never knew he knew where I stayed until, being that I came from domestic violence, I think I suffer from separation anxiety when it comes to my kids.
Oh yeah.
So I can't have them too far or gone too long. And if they are, I have to make sure they have a phone. So my daughter, she was about 9 or 10 at the time I got her a cell phone for when she's outside. And I was calling her phone and calling her phone. She wasn't answering. So I went outside to see where she was. And the little kids was like, she went with the man, and they described his car. So I called him, and I said, you need to bring my baby back. And he told me, no, this is my baby. She's never coming back. So, and I'm like, how do you even know where I stay? It got to the point where I had to start taking my daughter to school, because he was at the bus stop 6 o'clock every morning, like clockwork.
So he became a stalker.
A stalker. I moved on. I found a man. We're engaged now.
Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you. I love him so much, and he loves me and my girls. He used to tell me what me and him wore to go to work.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
I stayed upstairs, and one day he climbed the balcony and told me what me and my friend were doing, sleeping on my chair in my house. I had a van. I remember I was at a church. This is after I left. He used to come to my sister's house because I moved in with my sister at first. And I just took a little bit of stuff just to see if moving was what I wanted to do. And when I realized the blessings that God was showing me once I left,
Absolutely.
I knew that I couldn't go back. So I went home and got my stuff. He hadn't already packed up my stuff in my house and put me out of my house. So by the time I came back to my sister's house, it was like he dropped out of the sky. I've never seen nobody run fast on their tippy toes so nobody could hear them. He harassed me so much. The only reason he's not harassing me today is because he's incarcerated. He harassed me all the way up until the day he went to jail. He used to vandalize my vehicle, my fiance's vehicle. He used to tell us what we were wearing. He used to threaten him all the time. And I come from a family where, how do I explain this? They don't take no mess.
Right.
Yeah, we have that same
Yes.
kind of family.
So once my family got a whiff of everything that was going on, yeah, they don't take no mess. So, when my family would threaten him, he would threaten me. I tried to change my life over. I went to hair school. I tried to better myself because I've always wanted to better myself, but in that situation, it was impossible
Right.
to better yourself with an abuser. I mean, even when I was in hair school, the dean of the college, I had to be sent to the city of Columbia to sign charges on him because not only did he threaten to come do me harm, he came there threatening to do all the instructors harm, the classmates, and I was separated from him for probably about 4 years at this time.
Oh wow.
And he just would never stop. And do you know that he blames me for it all? When I left him, he left my kids.
That's right.
Right.
So, you know, I found my fiance, and my kids love him to death. And right now, to this day, I'm not as afraid as I was. But you're never gonna not be afraid. Like, the only reason I walk around fine now is because I know
He's in jail.
he's in jail.
Right. So let me
But-
ask a question. Why do abused people hurt people that's, that love them so much? And if you don't want me, leave me.
I think it has something to do with narcissistic behavior.
That was going to be my suggestion. That
Yes.
you were dealing with a narcissist.
Yes.
Everything that you explained describes the
Yes.
characteristics of a narcissist. And I want to ask a question so the people watching can get an understanding of why certain people stay. And did you stay because this was your children's father and you knew that he was abusing drugs and alcohol? So were you using the alcohol and drug abuse as an excuse why he was doing this to you? And so did you feel like once he stopped, the domestic violence would
Would stop. Right.
No, because like I said, I saw the abuse. It wasn't until the abuse came my way when I realized, okay, that abuse you saw him give to other people, this is just who he is.
Gotcha.
A part of the reason why I stayed for so long is because, you know, a lot of women stay because they don't want to hear, I told you so. And I didn't want to hear that from especially those people who told me about him and I didn't listen. So I didn't want to hear I told you so. So I stayed, but it got too bad. My daughter started finding drugs in the house, my 2-year-old.
Wow.
The little baby. And I knew that I got put out of every place that I stayed in because I had to call the police a lot, and they report that. And I just knew that if I did not leave that situation, that either I was going to hurt him, he was going to hurt me, or one of my children was going to get hurt in the crossfire. Because my oldest daughter always felt like she was my security guard from that first incident. Like, she throws herself in front of me.
Oh, wow.
And I said, God, if this man ever was to do something to my kids, I know I would snap. So I left.
He had to remove him. That's why he's in jail.
I left, and I'm glad I left.
Right.
Yes.
And the crazy part about the whole entire situation is, most people may think I'm crazy or something, but I told him I thank him for everything.
Absolutely.
Because he thought I would hate him. And at first I did. I hated him. I despised him. But today I thank him. Because if it had not been for me going through that situation, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today.
Yeah.
I feel like domestic violence, being that I'm a stylist and I'm pursuing this entrepreneurship, I feel like the domestic violence journey prepared me for failure. It prepared me for people judging me.
Yeah.
It prepared me for those people who are going to be against me.
Yeah.
And it also prepared me to step over any stepping stones that is placed in front of me. Because without going through that situation, I think I probably would have crumbled in this business.
And
But
this business is a tough business. I can relate
It
to
is.
that. So, Ashley, what could you tell our audience that's going through the same thing you went through? What advice can you give to that woman or that man that's going through domestic violence right now to help them better themselves or to help them even get out of the situation that they're in?
well, pray
Amen.
Yes.
and listen to that voice. Because even after I left, I still had thoughts of going back because battered women syndrome is for real.
Oh yeah.
Just pray about it. Find you a good outlet to talk to who's not going to judge you
Yes.
based upon it. And you just got to always know that there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
I used to have to, what I told myself a lot was, if he bring me to it, he'll bring me through it.
Oh yes.
And
Absolutely.
he did.
Yes.
He did.
Absolutely.
You know, I used to do a lot of praying. You know, a lot of praying, to the point where I would bring my girls and sit in my yard and we'll just pray. I knew my kids did. I always tell people, I knew he thought I was Tina Turner, you know, when she started doing all that praying.
Right,
because he
right.
used to just get real agitated.
Yeah.
When I used to just be like, okay, kids, let's go outside. It's time to pray. They didn't know what we were praying for, but I knew what we were praying for, and he didn't either. It's a lot of things that I've been through with him. You know, my oldest daughter, right now he can't take her, but he tried to take her more than once. You know, he stole money from me all the time, bill money. You know, then I have to go to my mama, and then she want to just kill him because of what he did. But, you know, I've never really actually sat down and told my story. My mama don't even know half of the stuff that I just told y'all. You know, my family don't know because I know that they'll want to do something.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like to this day, my mama always asks me, how do you still talk to him? And I have to tell her, it's impossible not to talk to the man. This is my kid's father. You know, I tried to get a restraining order and things, order of protection, but when you have children involved, you have to go through family court.
Oh yeah.
And being that I got my kids out of that situation, I didn't want them to go back in front of nobody to bring it.
Bring it back up.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
my oldest daughter was 9, about 9 or 10. And that's when I met my fiance. I asked her, I said, do you think he's going to be your stepdaddy one day? She said, no. And I said, why? She said, because he might turn out to be my daddy.
Oh wow.
And that's when I knew the damage that I had done.
Yes.
And I had to explain to her, all men aren't like your daddy. And, you know, she's 9 or 10, and she told me, Ma, you right. But just like my daddy changed, men can change too.
That's right.
Yes.
And to this day, my daughter considers herself gay.
Oh wow. At 9.
Soon as
Oh
she,
no, she's 14.
soon as she went to middle school,
Yeah.
she said, Ma, I think I'm gay. And I knew right then and there why
It
she
affected
wanted to
it.
be gay.
Yeah,
Like, she hates men. She loves her stepfather, but that's the only man. And once me and him got engaged, you know, he's trying to come back into my kid's life. And he told me that I can't stop him from doing it. He'll get a lawyer and all that stuff if he needs to. And I try to be cordial because I don't want my kids to see me act like that, because I took them out that situation. And since I've taken them out that situation, I try not to do too much arguing and fighting and things like that around them. But I just, you know, I've been through some things that some people would take their lives.
Right.
And like I said, I lost my faith, but it wasn't until I left that situation that I knew how I made it through that situation.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because it was only one set of footprints in the sand.
Amen.
If it wasn't for God carrying me,
Yes.
I would have
absolutely.
lost it.
Amen.
Lost it. Like, it's been times when Monday I have to call the police, Tuesday I have to call the police, and everybody's called the police. They don't care.
Right.
It was just one. It's all according to how they feel themselves. It was one officer. I can't remember his name, but he was the only one who felt for me, and he locked him up. And do you know the man wanted me to come to court to say he didn't do what the officer said he did?
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. But
Before we wrap everything up, I'm going to give you an advice. You need to write a book so you can
Yes.
save someone else's life.
Yes.
You
Absolutely.
need to write a book.
well, if
Yes.
I could do it, anybody could do it.
Yeah.
You
need to
know,
write a book.
the best thing about it is everybody was like, "What? You don't look like you've been through that."
But God.
But you know, I also tell people, if you know somebody who is dealing with an abuser, a controlling person, don't judge, just be there. Because in all actuality, we never know what people hide behind a smile.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I to the outside world, I was just this bubbly person, but nobody knew what I was going through every day. I went back home. I couldn't even go to family functions.
Wow.
I couldn't even go to my grandmama's birthday party without coming home to abuse.
Well, we do have to wrap it up. Your story is definitely amazing, Ashley.
Yes, thank you
And
for coming to the
thank
show.
you for coming
Thank
to
y'all
our
for
show
having me
and sharing your story. Like, just like my sister stated,
Right.
write a
Write
book.
a book.
Because I would buy your book.
And so would I.
Yes, I would definitely buy your book.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's more to your story that you
Yes.
could probably share in
It
the book.
is.
Yes.
It really,
here.
really is.
And we are grateful that you are a survivor and not a
Yes.
victim.
Yes.
Yes,
I
not a
survived.
bit.
Yes, you survived, and that's what counts.
That
Yes.
what was set
That
to
is
destroy
what
me.
counts.
Yes.
Yes.
And I love the Lord so much more now.
Amen.
Yes, amen.
Because, Lord Jesus.
Yes.
Yes.
Whew.
So you guys stay tuned for our next segment.
Yes.
We'll
Which
bring
is,
it to the table.
Yes. And thank you, Ashley, again for being on the show and sharing your story.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
What's trending? What? Oh, what's trending?
Who's breaking up to make up? What's trending?
Hey yo, what's the 411? What's trending? Yeah, we got it going on. What's trending?
All the time.
Jazz, get it together.
Okay, okay, okay.
Oh, they got a cameraman pose. What's up, guys? I'm Alex.
And I'm Brittany.
And I'm Jasmine.
And this is What's Trending. So let's get straight to it.
Straight to it. Okay.
Baby, tell me what you got.
Over the weekend, I discovered, well, according to the Shade Room, you know, Future, well, Jada Waiter, little baby, Jada Waiter. Okay, do you know Jada Waiter, little baby's baby mama? Her best friend has been spotted out with Future.
Not Future. Is Future tired of being with everybody?
I
he
don't
just
know
need to come
what's
out.
going on, but everybody's going crazy. Like, what's going on? Is she the next baby mama? What? But I don't know. Desi tweeted, according to her Twitter, that she said she is here for Lori and Future, but she deleted it. I don't know what that's about, but if I've been spotted with Future, just know something. Okay? Well,
I just don't think he see his future because ain't no way.
it is a way. Ask all the other baby mamas. But, okay, we had 21 Savage birthday party. It looked like I wanted to be there. They had so much fun.
Now, I saw that. I saw that.
No, I missed
They was
that.
cute.
Everybody was in their 70s wear. It was Jada Waiter again and Lil Baby. They're my favorite.
That's
That's her real last name? Waiter?
No, it's Jada Cheese or something
That's
like
just
that.
her, AKA?
Yeah, everybody know her by Jada Waiter.
Oh,
But
Jada Waiter.
they was there and their costume was lovely. Like
updated.
it was real nice. I want to go to a 70s party. That made me want to go.
That was lit. That was a lit party.
They was really. Oh yeah, Meek Mill was there too. He had his afro. Everybody was just. I love stuff like
They
that.
was vibing.
Yeah, they was vibing to the max. And let me see. Oh, Sierra's 35 years old today. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Sierra! See, I used to be in the high school, middle school like this, dude. Automatic, supersonic, drip, body, get fresh. Sierra, put me one of your videos. I got you.
Oh, okay. And this was my last thing to say on what's trending. But Jada Waiter was hosting a party over the weekend in Dallas, and there was a shooting. And she
I saw
she
that.
tweeted that she was she hoped everybody's okay, and she had to hurry up and leave all her presents that how they give the celebrities when they come. But it was a shooting in Dallas. We don't know what for, but I'm praying for the families. So.
Yeah.
And rest in peace to those people that died. She
did say that. Yeah.
She said they died.
You just have to be careful, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, where you go, my mom has always said, check your surroundings, and you definitely should check
And if you
your
feel it,
surroundings.
leave. Go ahead and do what you need to
or
do.
don't
Just
even go. If you
Right.
already feel in your heart
Right.
something ain't right, just don't go.
Okay, we ain't gonna get sad on y'all. So that's enough of my tea. What you got?
Y'all, I don't know. Tell me y'all saw the little two sisters.
Who two sisters?
The sisters. The
The
two little
birthday
girls with the
party.
birthday. Matter of fact,
According to who?
Matter of fact, don't worry about it. Let's watch it. We gotta watch it. I got it. I got
'Cause
to
I didn't
update
see
you.
it.
Hold on.
Well,
Oh, here it go.
we
Here
gonna
it go.
get Jazz reaction because I see.
Yeah. Okay, look.
That was so funny.
Man,
so
y'all,
funny.
no. But did y'all peep the little girl when the sister blew it out? She had to pause for a minute and figure out. Then she said, "Whoa!" And grabbed. But I ain't
so
mad at you, little
funny.
girl.
I was
And
even
then your
mad
little
at
sister
my
was
birthday
smiling. I'd have been
Right,
mad
like
too.
you right.
I would have turned that party out.
Because it was her birthday, not hers.
Not hers.
Okay. So I don't want to know what's in y'all cup.
That's none of your business.
Oh.
A pretty woman never tells.
Ooh. And sips to that.
Mm.
And sips to that. Okay. I'm saying.
Yes, but that was my trending topic.
All right. So now it's my turn. My turn.
Okay.
Let's get on Nicki Minaj.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations, by the way.
Track.
For the baby, for both you and your husband, but the foot, though.
The limb. We got a limb.
We got a limb.
We got a limb.
Y'all, the little baby foot is cute, by the way.
I want to see the baby.
But I want to see the baby.
Nicki ain't showing in no time.
And I can't stand when celebrities do that.
But what is it about, though?
But it be the fans. They just so mean and evil. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to show my baby either.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
They can get the bullying in
So
the
if y'all had a new child, what would the picture look like?
The whole body, because I'm proud.
This is my baby. The whole baby, the whole, like, everything in the camera. As soon as she would have came out, boop, y'all would have got a picture.
Yeah, but what's
Okay,
the baby
baby.
name? Because
I don't know. You know they be
yet.
having them crazy names.
We don't know yet.
y'all don't know the baby name either?
His name might be Lim.
Oh, no. A foot.
A foot,
A something.
a thumb. That's all I see. Toes. His name might be Toes. Toenail.
All right, so y'all, if y'all have any other suggestions, comments, any other concerns, anything that
Anything you wanna
y'all
talk
want
about.
to trend and talk about, put that in our notification, in our
A
comments.
Dropbox, we got you. We go email. We'll
An email?
just send us an
It's
email.
at bringitAtThetable@gmail.com.
But we will have our own Instagram page,
Yeah.
which would be trending topic. And anything that y'all want to trend or talk about, let's talk about it. We here
Let's
for
talk
it.
about
This
it. We
is
here
this
for
is
it.
it. This is us. This is what you're gonna get.
And thank y'all for tuning in. This
To
is trending.
What's Trending.
What's trending? Let's do that
Baby.
again. What's trending?
Thank
I
y'all
love
for
it.
tuning
Tune
in.
in.
What's trending?
All right, that wraps up our first show. I need y'all guys to like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that notification button so you won't miss next episode. Bring it
To the
table!
Yeah, we live every week, baby. Like, comment, subscribe. You did. Bring it to the table where you can learn something. Bring it to the table.